to defend ourselves. And 2 police officers last night watched as delivery trucks, U-Haul trucks and buses arrived with Antifa shipped in from local universities and local government assemblies. A lot of them work for the legislatures. That's been caught on record many times. And loaded out of the U-Hauls were the signs about killing cops and Antifa. And guess who was unloading out of these trucks the shields and the clubs and all the rest of it? Guess what? A group funded by George Soros on record and Jack Dorsey of Twitter. Jack Dorsey gave $1 million this year to the very group and the very woman that heads it up, unloading the weapons. So, as I said again, this is terrorism. And remember, Rand Paul came out just a month ago out of the White House, and people surrounded him, attacked him, said, we're going to kill you, knocked police down. They barely got away. Black Lives Matter. Remember that? Well, Rand Paul understands what we're facing now. This is called terrorism. Last night in Louisville, they pull up, they say, we're going to kill the cops, and then they start shooting the police that had done nothing, not even fired tear gas at that point. And the media, CNN said, well, there's going to be violence. The police deserve it. Like they said a few years ago when all those cops were getting killed in 2016. And remember, they were on the news saying, well, cops kill innocent black people, so you're going to die randomly. When statistically, it doesn't even show that. Here's a few of the clips out of Louisville yesterday where they're talking about, y'all get ready to effing die, and sure enough, it started. Here it is.
All y'all get ready to fucking die.
I'm ready to come from everywhere else. Here they come. Oh, they shot guns at them. Oh, they shooting guns at them, real guns.
And then, of course,
they're blasting at the police.
Yep, the BLM start running until they realize, oh, that's us shooting the police. So this is it. They've started their war. They're only going to make it more intense. And Soros just overthrew Ukraine 7 years ago the same way, killing cops.
Shots fired.
Here's Senator Rand Paul just minutes ago telling it like it is that Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization. Here it is.
I joined Senator Scott and others in saying that we have to appreciate our police more generally. They're protecting us from the vandals, the marauders, the arsonists in our cities. And it's not just the Democrat proposition of defunding the police that threatens us. It's also the idea that if we don't appreciate our police, we won't have more volunteering to become policemen in the next generation. So I think it's absolutely imperative that we do show our appreciation for these people who are risking their lives to keep us safe. My wife and I know about this personally. As you saw from the video going into this, we were attacked by a mob in D.C. just a few weeks ago. For those of you who doubt that the mob had violent intent, immediately after we were safely into the hotel, or somewhat safe in our hotel, one of the police officers was assaulted and received stitches in his face. And I guess what bothered me is, I commend them for their heroism. I truly believe they saved our lives. But the person who assaulted the policeman was from out of state. I think the federal charges were lodged, but then he was released on his own recognizance. I tweeted out somewhat snarkily, if you're looking for him, you may look in Kenosha. But I think we do have to investigate these people. And we have to put blame where blame is. We need to find out who's financing them. If you're from out of state and you attacked someone in D.C., I would think that the FBI or federal authorities should investigate, how did he get there? Who's paying for it? I can tell you that Black Lives Matter is supporting these folks and that we shouldn't shy away from attributing blame where blame goes. When we were attacked, the head of Black Lives Matter in Louisville had this to say. She said, "We can see the fear in their faces, and that's how we want them to live." Their goal is terrorism. They're admitting it. If you look at their exchanges online and social media, they are saying their goal is to terrorize public officials and really anybody. Many of the people in the restaurants that they're being terrorized are not.
We're going to come back with the conclusion of this.